I want to say hello and good technically morning still. It is 11:59 and 43 seconds. So it'll be good morning for about the next 10 seconds. And we'll say good afternoon from Loudon, New Hampshire, here for the 2023 edition of Road Course World Finals. Glad to have everybody with us here. And in the Granite State as we are ready to roll with time trials here momentarily. Everybody going to get 4 laps in this session for the Young Lions, and you see one of the cars down there in the lineup chute. No surprise. He was one of the fastest guys all morning. That Hunt Brothers car, the 62 of Keelan Harvick. One of his Joe Ryan Racing teammates immediately behind him in that gray car. And you see Joe Ryan, or excuse me, Keelan Harvick and his Joe Ryan teammate. We'll get that square in just a second. But man, they are working their way off the top of the hill. Past where our Turn 3 camera is going to be on Sunday for feature events. There you see a couple more of the Joe Ryan race cars teammates making their way through the infield section. So Keelan Harvick on the clock, Isaac Kitzmiller 97 ahead of him. These two, Austin Warner in the 22 and Kai Johnson in the 7. Of course, Kai, plenty of road racing experience in the various Formula cars and karting and lots of other things. We've seen him in oval track land with legend cars many times. So everything all sorted out, and they'll make their way up the hill. A gray 7, pair of gray cars for that matter. There you see Cole Roby in the 29 as well. As he makes his way through turn 6. The bowl, or as our team has affectionately dubbed it, the fish bowl. Got to give our crew a lot of props for that matter. On the way up here, everybody expected to have a couple days to get this thing set up and ready to go for the TV side. And, well, we knocked it out in less than 24 hours, at least enough to get you on air. So give mad props to our U.S. Legend Cars TV crew. Get us on air. First lap's going in the books. 4 laps total. 4 laps total. Right now, unofficially, Keelan Harvick fastest overall. See the number 10 car, Kevin Davis. Used a lot of racetrack over there in turn number 2 of the NASCAR track. So Davis up the hill. Lets that car come all the way out to the grass, and now he'll start right back down the crest. See those cones over there on the driver's right for brake markers. The 24, Rodney Dowlis. You're popping a lap in. Love the blue wheels on that car. Oh, he got a little sideways there coming down the hill. That was a moment, to say the least. There's the 00 of Nick Shaber Jr. Hard to miss that car with the white and orange trim on it as everybody comes by to complete lap number 2. All still chasing Keelan Harvick. And Harvick at the moment about 2.5 tenths, call it quarter second, over his Joe Ryan Racing teammate Kai Johnson. Both of them with lots of road racing experience. Not a surprise there. Isaac Kitzmiller third. He's learned a lot from his teammates. I can tell Cole Roby currently fourth. And Shaber, who we watch now, that lap that he just completed put him P5 on the board. So he'll motor his way down the back straightaway into the chicane. And yellow on track. Yellow on track. It sounds like everybody's stopping for the most part on track. There it is right there that's Rodney Dowlis we just saw. He either missed the chicane or something, but he has got tires attached. He's got, yikes. That's, I am not a very smart man, but I can tell you this much. That's not the way that's supposed to be. Yowzers. So Rodney Dowlis is going to take a minute to get cleaned up over there. And, well, that's having a nice little conversation over in the bowl, apparently. That is Nick Shaber Jr. and the 00 and the 43 of Trent Dillard having a little conversation over there. I'm not so sure if that's a good conversation or a bad conversation. Perhaps Trent is trying to figure out why Nick Shaber is so fast. He's about a second and a half faster than that 43 car on your right. So we'll get the tires righted over here in the chicane area. And that's why they're there, is exactly what occurred there. Prevent those cars from easily making their way into the other side of the racetrack. And even if they did, they're still with traffic. It's not counter traffic. And Dallas, you see him trying to get that car out of gear to put it on the hook. So certainly not the start that he was looking for by any means.
All right, everyone. Withdraw the red, display the yellow, start to fire it up, and roll off. Be cognizant of the equipment on the backside as you roll off.
And there you hear Race Director Kyle McGowan. So we anticipate we will see a green flag again this next time by to resume the session. Appears almost every driver, I believe, got 2 laps in. We'll wait to confirm that. But we'll wait to see if we do, in fact, get a green flag this time by. Now, the Young Lions, so these are the kids usually under 15 years of age, anywhere from about 10 to 15 in most cases. And yellow is still out. And under that yellow, they all decided to group right up with one another. Now, part of the whole learning experience of being a youthful race car driver is this. When it's time to practice or go time trialing, and I'm sure many of these will get this lecture from somebody in the pit area, is when that happens, you don't necessarily need to bind yourself up in a group like this. Because you can actually slow yourself down. Now, I understand what they're doing. The fastest 3 cars, 3 of the fastest 4 cars in the property are in your frame. The 62 of Harvick, the 97 of Kitzmiller, the 29 of Cole Roby. The only one missing is Kai Johnson. I think he's the next car behind them. So, yes, there's the fastest 4 cars in the property in this division. So, I guess if there's somebody you're going to follow, however, that would be the person to follow. You see them making their way through the affectionately dubbed fishbowl by our TV crew.
62 in the bowl, coming to green on a 62. Green, 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 green.
So there you hear green flag will be out on Keelan Harvick in that Hunt Brothers Pizza ride.
Be a green, white checkered. Be a green, white checkered starting with the
2 laps remaining in this session. And if you're watching on social media, well, hey, give us a shout. There you see Kai Johnson making his way into the chicane. Whoa! He too just about overcooked it over there. So that's 7 of Johnson topping the hill. There you see Kai. Second quick so far on the board. 1 minute, 21 seconds, and 118 thousandths if you're scoring at home. This time by, we'll see what happens, if anybody can pick up their time, as Harvick continues to show the way.
Semi-pros roll to the end of pit road.
Lap 3 in the books. Cole Roby slightly faster, still not able to get around Kai Johnson on the board. So he is currently P3. Vast majority of drivers picked up their lap time. There you see Keelan Harvick making his way up the hill through the bowl. And he'll leave camera sight, and our top cameras will pick it up again. Going to be a fun time Sunday. We're going to have this place covered up with cameras. We're going to have them over in NASCAR 3. We're going to have them over in NASCAR 1. A couple on the roof. Got them over in the bowl. We're going to have this place just saturated. Whole different view of Road Course World Finals. About the only thing we won't have a camera for is the viewing party in the garage area. That's about the only thing we won't have. So lap 4 in the books, and this is the final chance for anybody to best their lap. Harvick slightly off his fast lap. Kai Johnson now to the top of the board. The 7 car, 1 minute, 20.872 seconds. So that gray number 7 of Kai Johnson jumps up to P1. Remember we talked about giving himself a little bit of gap. And that's exactly what he did. Instead of trying to get mired up in traffic, gave himself enough room to work with. And he didn't have to worry about running anybody around him. Got himself a rhythm. And Kai Johnson, unofficially fast time here in Young Lion Time Trials to set the field for the 2023 edition of Road Course World Finals.
All cars have taken checkered. All cars have taken checkered. Exit the track. Watch for the tech official. Exit the track. Watch for the tech official.
Okay, now that you've come down to the front stretch, the cars on pit road are getting lined up to come next. This is the day Facebook would be.
You see semi-pros lined up against the inside pit wall. A slew of semi-pros ready to go here this afternoon. And by the way, it is this afternoon. It past 12 o'clock. So approximately 12:17 here on the East Coast. Semi-pros going to have drivers from, obviously plenty of them from up here in the Northeast. Drivers like James Anderson, the 25, and Max Berry in the 22 NH. Nathan DeVoe going to be here from New Jersey, one of those 510 racing groups, or drivers from that group, I should say. He's been making a lot of improvements this season in that 3 ride. Michael Ferguson from, I got to say it right, hold on. We ain't down south anymore, so I can't say it Concord. It's Concord, New Hampshire. We will likely mispronounce that town at least 10 times. We got one Speedway Motorsports track near Concord, New Hampshire, and another one in Concord, North Carolina. That is a recipe for pronunciation disaster. That's all I'm saying. Dustin Gagne in this group in the 11. We'll see Christopher Hines and Devin Kelly in the 93. There you see the 19. That is Jace Mungin out of Charlton, Mass. There you see the 11. That is Dustin Gagne. We just talked about. Whoa, watch out, watch out, watch out. So that 11 car, he cleared the chicane.
Come on, 11.
He's waiting for his place in line right now behind Jace Mungin, I think. But since that lap doesn't count, where you hear race control saying, just come on, keep going, we'll be fine. So that looks like the 11, Dustin Gagne. There's another 11 in the field, Michael Ferguson. Let's see 11F. There's also Elias Dibb in the 11D out of Seekonk, but I did not see a letter on that car. There you see driver number 64. Devin Deshay out of Oakland, Rhode Island. The black and blue 34, getting ready to take the green. That's Kyle, looks like Kyle Case. Or as Race Monitor says, our favorite driver waiting for data. Christopher Hines also on track in the 24. There you see Hines in that gray and dark red numeraled ride over in turn number 1. Everybody waiting to put that first lap in. It's Christopher Hines going to top the hill. There you see him. All by his lonesome over there in the bowl. Nobody anywhere near him. He'll get that car slowed down, turned left. Slide right up on the corner exit on turn 6 and head right back around the Granite Rock, so to speak. Looks like I can't tell the number on that one. I think that's the 68 NY of James Stone. We'll get a confirmation on that momentarily. Either way. Actually, I think that's the 93 is what it looks like. So, yes, that is Devin Kelly we just saw. There you see Nate Devone, the number 3 NJ. Got some friends behind him. Kyle Case, James Anderson. As everybody puts in lap number 1, Dustin Gagne currently. First one across the line. His lap time, though, not good enough for P1. Jace Mungeon, fastest overall. 1 minute, 20.890 seconds. Devin Deshay, currently P2. Riley O'Connell, Nathan Devone, James Anderson, the top 5 as they sit now. Everybody with 1 lap complete. And speaking of James Anderson, there you see him. Another one of those cars that's hard to miss with the black and yellow. Very hard to miss that race car. I like that. My old eyes can see that car. Behind him, you see the 34. That's Kyle Case. Trying to give chase and maybe make up a few tenths or maybe even a second. Trust me, if he made up a second, he'd be thrilled. That would put him in a really good spot. There you see Nate Devone down the hill. I had to give Todd McCollum some grief a couple weeks ago. We were talking about the national events coming up. I said, "What's your plan?" And he told me his plan. I was like, "Wait, what? You're not taking Lee Jordan back for 3 in a row in Vegas?" It's like, yeah, he had T-shirts to put together. By the way, the INEX officials this week, and for that matter, our TV crew, looking really sporty. Brand new apparel from LJ Designs. Got to give props to Lee Jordan. Even if he's not going to make the trip to Vegas, something about work, something about making the money to pay for the race car. I don't know what he's talking about. Is that driver number 11? You just saw in your frame. I believe that one was Michael Ferguson we just saw. Driver 2, well, technically 2B, as Aaron Linsky. There's the 67 on track, Zach Godbout.
11 of Gagne has taken the white.
So as you hear from Race Director Kyle McGowan, white flag already out up front. As we continue to clock off, and they all continue to chase Jace Mungeon. He has got a second over the field right now. Riley O'Connell is second. Devin Deshay, Nathan Devone, and Dustin Gagne. The anglicized pronunciation of that one. You see Godbout down the hill in that sedan of his. Very fast portion of the racetrack. It's very deceptive just how fast those cars are going in that infield section, down the hill, through the right-hander, a couple of quick switchbacks. and then you get on the brakes to make the left-hander and then the chicane, basically, back onto NASCAR turn number 4. So white flag is out, and again, Jace Mungen, the man they are all chasing. Problems over in turn 1 for Riley O'Connell. He missed the corner. He had to stop up there on the outside of that area. He's back rolling again. So that lap not going to be a good one for Riley O'Connell most likely. So he'll just kind of break the tires in on this lap, get a little more heat in them, and see what he can do down here in the bowl. Kind of a free practice lap, if you will. There you see him, really wide apex, cut that car down across the middle and slide up on exit. To be of Aaron Linsky going to finish his. Mungen has finished his session, as has Devin Deshays, Nate Devone, Gagne Anderson, Kyle Case. Case picked up on his final lap a little bit. He currently 7th overall. Christopher Hines, Devin Kelly. Max Berry just finished with his fastest lap of the session. Puts him P7 in the 22 NH. There you see the 34 of O'Connell, who we just saw had problems over in turn number 2 of the NASCAR track. So he'll skip that area on the cool down lap. And there you see Jace Mungen. He has finished his 4 timed laps, but he is continuing to try to break the tires in, get every lap he can on those Hoosier race tires. He'll finally slow down as he approaches the pit in. But there is your provisional pole sitter, pending tech, of course. Jace Mungen out of Massachusetts, going to make the hard left into the garage area. He'll head to the INEX tech section. Make sure everything is all good and kosher, as we assume it will be. And we expect to see him starting on the front row on Sunday afternoon here in the Granite State, New Hampshire Motor Speedway. You see him wave the other drivers around. Look like James Stone, the red car, also waving by I think that may have been the 64 of Devin Deshays. So Gagne off to tech. Mungen also there as well. And just like that, we are down to 2 groups remaining. And there you see the first one. As we have affectionately dubbed them in Legend Car Land, the Crazy Old Men. Emphasis on the crazy, not so much the old. Well, age is only a number, I think, as far as these guys are concerned. They still feel like they're 20. Sometimes they still race like they're 20. And who cares what the driver's license says? Yeah.
43 Riley O'Connell to tech. 43 Riley O'Connell to tech if you have not.
So second place, O'Connell going to be making his way towards the tech area. Getting to make sure everything is all good and kosher. As the Masters ready to line up, and there's some good guys in this one. Let me tell you, we're going to have a fun time watching them race come Sunday afternoon. No longer the Baby Master. We dubbed him that we didn't dub him that. His fellow Masters dubbed him that a few years ago. Sean Buffington, I think he's like 60 now, right?
Right to tech. I don't care if the Raven on, take a hard right going to tech.
Like, yeah, I mean, I think Buffington, I think he's like 60 now. He was a Baby Master 20 years ago in Florida, and now he's just, normal master. I'm just kidding. I think that was probably 4 or 5 years ago. He had just turned 40 and entered the class, and he could be in this group. We're going to have Carl Cormier, our old buddy. Eugene Drew's going to be the 14. David Ferguson from just down the road in Concord, New Hampshire in the 88. Darren Gallant's the 05. Brian Gardella in the 14 NJ. Robert Gayton, saw him pulling out of the garage a moment ago. Hard to miss his car. He's got the big bright numbers on it, and the purple and the yellow and the whole deal. So he made the trip from out west. Albuquerque. He didn't take a wrong turn in Albuquerque. He came from Albuquerque, Bugs. Russ Godbout going to be out there from Maine. Michael Hines in the 68. Lonnie Hochstetler in the 31. Kevin Nowak in the 53. Kim Peterson, the 4. Michael Zauer out of Texas in the 84. Brian Waller's the 91. Eric Williams in the 6. And there you hear. Go on. Hit the racetrack, folks. And the first car on the speedway. And there you also see Kevin Nowak now on screen, the black and blue, number 53. Such a cool sound to listen to those cars. You hear them all around the property down here in the fishbowl area. And whoa, Nowak a little sideways there on cold tires. Everybody getting some heat in them. Darren Gallant in the 05, first car on track. Nowak starting to reel him in already. Again, this is the third of 4 divisions on track before Sunday's feature events, which we will have in their entirety here on U.S. Legend Cars TV. There's Sean Buffington. Now, see, Sean is a smart old man. No longer is he a baby. He is a smart old man. I guess in legend car terms, that would be a wise old man. He hears us old folks talking about can't see, or maybe he can't see, and he goes to an orange race car. So that explains a lot, perhaps. It's not quite Wayne Barlock's school bus, but it'll do. Hi, Wayne. We know you're listening over in Arizona. We have not forgot your school bus, my friend. We expect to see your school bus in Las Vegas in about 2 weeks' time. There's the Dragon, Carl Cormier, making his way up the hill. If there's a guy you want to pay attention to, it is Carl Cormier. Tell you, he has been racing a little bit of everything, and in his spare time, he is a commentator for U.S. Legend Cars TV. In case you didn't know. Of course, Carl always good on road courses. He really loves road racing. It's really kind of where he grew up and what he does. And the oval thing's something he's picked up in his older years, so to speak. The red car immediately behind him, that's Michael Hines, you just saw. As they all come to complete a lap. Unofficially, Sean Buffington, fastest overall. Whoa, a little lockup over there. That is Brian Gardella trying to chase down the 4 of Kim Peterson. Gardella had himself a moment. Brakes apparently didn't have enough heat in them and locked up the left front. Of course, you send that car in the corner, you unload the left front, and you hit the brakes. That's kind of one of those things that happens. This looks like the 14 of Eugene Drew. Check that. That is Gardella. I have my 14s crisscrossed. So Gardella on screen. The car we saw have the lockup earlier was Eugene Drew. So Gardella, the black and yellow 14. See him top the hill back there. Now he just about locked the left front up there. I saw the letters on the tire. So that time Gardella did just about lock that thing up in his sedan. Buffington fastest and faster on lap 2. Oh, big problems coming down the hill. That is Brian Waller. That is in a very precarious spot, turning against traffic. Oh, boy. He gets out of harm's way, but that's enough to make you need a new pair of pants. So he'll get rolling. That'll scratch his second lap for Brian Waller. That second lap going to be not of a competitive time for sure. Current top 5 as they are on the top of your frame. Buffington, Nowak, Gallant, Peterson, and Hines currently top 5. Cormier 6th. Zauer, Robert Gayton, Eugene Drew, and Brian Waller. There we see the 31. As Lonnie Hochstetler. As he comes out, he apparently had an issue, either getting to grid or getting on track. He just tripped the timing line for his first of 4 laps, and everybody else has got 2 of them complete. So Hochstetler, a little bit of a disadvantage here, not able to get rolling or get laps completed on pace with everybody else. New fast timer, by the way. Well, check that. No, we don't. The monitor swapped on me up here. Sean Buffington, however, faster again on lap number 3. 1 minute, 20.338 seconds. That again is a full second over Kevin Nowak, Darren Gallant, Kim Peterson and company. And there you see, there's Robert Gayton. I love the paint scheme in that car, that white and purple and yellow numeraled car. Fantastic looking ride, if I do say so myself. Gayton, by the way, faster on his 3rd lap up to 6th. That first red car in line, that is the 84, I believe, of Michael Zauer. He just got around the 88 of David Ferguson. But does that not remind you of Lightning McQueen? Holy cow. You can change a number on that puppy and be set and ready to rip.
76 is getting the white, 05 is getting the checkers.
Whoa, Lonnie Hochstetler, we talked about him getting late to the grid. Lap 1, P4 for Lonnie Hochstetler. Wow, that 31 car is hustling. Watch out. Up front, Hochstetler might be on a flyer. There you see Ferguson. So Buffington, fastest man in town after 4 laps. Kevin Nowak, Darren Gallant bumped himself up to a little bit faster on lap 3 or lap 4, 2/3 spot. And there you see Lonnie Hochstetler. Lap 1 was P4. He didn't have nearly as much time, but he's got to pull out, if he pulls out a second, he puts this thing P2. What can he do on lap number 2? Hochstetler in the 31 coming to checkers. Final trip around the layout here at New Hampshire, and Hochstetler picks it up on lap 2, but only enough to give himself some pride. Picks up about 4/10, still 4th fastest for Lonnie Hochstetler. Pretty impressive, though, in lap number 1. Put that thing right there at P4. So Buffington, Nowak, Gallant, Hochstetler, and Kim Peterson, the top 5. And it's Michael Hines, Michael Zauer, Robert Gayton, Carl Cormier, and Eugene Drew, the top 10. And that guy we just saw, Brian Waller, 11th. Brian Gardella, 12th. Eric Williams, David Ferguson is there in the frame. And Russ Godbout going to round out the Masters field as they stand through time trials here this afternoon. So just like that, 3 of the 4 divisions for Legend Car Road Course World Finals have qualified themselves into their respective fields. And now the best drivers anywhere, the pros, are on track, including that cat right there. Driver out of Virginia, Daniel Silvestri. Been making a lot of time and a lot of starts in late model stock cars in the Southeast. Came back road racing with 860 Motorsports this weekend. Just behind him, one of the Pro Division standouts. Summer Shootout champion, the number 1, Paul McCollum. And I saw McCollum make a hard left there. And actually, I guess he's trying to keep a little bit of heat in the tires. There you see it. Thought maybe you're going to head back and they forgot to put a hood pin in or something, but nope. Just trying to work a little heat in the tires, scuff them, best they can. Pro Division's always fun to watch here at New Hampshire. We saw that last year. We had really every division. We had some fantastic races, some fantastic finishes. I mean, looking at the roster in this one, I mean, look at some of these guys and where they come from, and gals for that matter. Danny Chisholm in the 87. He's here. P.J. Evans, Liam Flanagan from Oklahoma. That's out where the Hampshire Motor Racing Circuit is. Matthew Grant in the 20. Heather Hadley. Man, I went back and watched some of the videos this week from last year. And on day one, man, the heat was cranked up. Heather Hadley had it dialed in. Calls Vallejo, California home. Spending a lot of time in the Carolinas for school. Trevor Krause in the 15 from Maine. ARCA Menard Series standout Landon Lewis, been making some NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series starts. He's here in his 99 that he's made so famous in Legend Car World. Of course, Brandon Martinez, Zach Martinez. Talked about, actually, I think I call him Paul McCollum. That's not Paul. That's Alex McCollum. My apologies. Alex McCollum in the 1. Jordan O'Brien's back in the 71. We've got Devin O'Connell in the 43. Arto Ayuranta in the 72. Emil Pearson making his way here from over in the Scandinavian area of Europe. As we look at the lineup, the fall season is in full bloom here in the New England area. See all the different colors over there off of the top of the fishbowl. Love coming up here this time of year. It's so scenic. It's what was that movie about? Pick a perfect date. I think the perfect date is Road Course World Finals in New Hampshire because it's not too hot, it's not too cold, the leaves are gorgeous, and the racing is just right. So I think that's the new thing. Somebody asked me about the perfect date. That's it. Road Course World Finals in New Hampshire. Doesn't matter what weekend it is. That's the perfect date. Period. That's it. Of course, we had Jagger Robertson from the Gauteng province of South Africa here. Brendan Rusbarski in the 12R. We talked about Silvestri is here. Jack Walker. Daniel Wilk is here in the 87. There you see Devin O'Connell. One of the 860 cars. Making his way up the hill. Of course, he's raced a little bit of everything, has Devin. From late models up here in New England. I think he had some modifieds he was working with a couple years ago, and now he's back in a legend car. And you know why? Well, they're fun. Every driver that ever does that, that's what they always tell me. Well, why do you do it? Because they're still fun. They've been fun since day one. The formula hasn't changed, and so they remain fun. As you see the next group ready to cross the stripe. Led by the 29, Liam Flanagan. Danny Chisholm in the 87, Trevor Krause. Ooh, a little lockup there from Flanagan getting into turn number 1. Man, look at Chisholm through that turn. I guess it'd be turn 3. That car just got through that corner. Look, him under braking, gains a lot of ground. Trying to get around Liam Flanagan. Oh, and he's got a cone. Danny Chisholm just spat the cone out the running board. All the iRacing folks out there know exactly what a cone can do to your race car. And Danny Chisholm just proved, see, iRacing's realistic even when it comes to the cones. I ran over a cone and spat it out somewhere on the racetrack. That's exactly what just happened. As our director, Andrew Purdue, just said in my ear, yes, that's like watching me race. Except when I hit things, they don't go spitting out, except the race car usually stops. I hit things hard when I hit them. There you see the 76, Jagger Robertson, Gauteng Province, South Africa, in the Liqui ride. Legend car racing, very popular over in South Africa. I actually have a trip scheduled there in January. I'm, as you may predict, attempting to find at least one racetrack to go play around at while I'm there for about 10 days or so. Jack Walker immediately behind him. Always saying Jack Walker's name when we come up here. Driver out of Nashua, New Hampshire. whether it be on the flat track we've been here to before, whether it be on an oval track somewhere, whether it be here at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway facility. That 95 car, always one we're talking about. A little bit further back. Looks like that might be the Zach Martinez car, 14. Number kind of hard to see on it. And it is. And uh-oh, we've killed another cone. Cone count number 2. Oh, boy. Martinez with the cone underneath. There will not be much of that cone left at the end of this session, I promise. Jeez, Joe Pete's. Okay. I know they can hear me in the garage. Drivers, as a public service announcement, you are not supposed to run over the cones. This is not Mario Kart. You do not get bonus points, just to be clear. There you see driver number 20 looks like. That is Matthew Grant. Lap 1 complete for pretty much everyone. In fact, completing lap number 2. Landon Lewis, fastest overall. He is down in the 1:19 range. 1 minute, 19.982 seconds for Landon Lewis. Jordan O'Brien currently second at a 1:20.2. Danny Chisholm right there with him, a couple thousandths off. Trevor Kraus not far off. And Alex McCollum currently P5. Artu Anyuranta, 72 car, 1 minute, 20 seconds, 0.803. Currently P6 now. He had a great run last year. Man, that was one of my favorite races that he was involved in. I just liked hearing Tim Terry have to say Artu Oyuranta. It is a mouthful, but he is a heck of a driver. There you see a few more making their way out from the fishbowl area of the racetrack, turn 6. There's Heather Hadley. We talked about her earlier. Surprisingly, she's only now P11 as I believe Liam Flanagan just bumped his way up into the top 6. There again, you see the 20 of Matthew Grant negotiating the final couple of turns. And there's a whole gaggle coming off of NASCAR 4. Landon Lewis, first car in that group. He finishes lap 3, and just behind him, Alex McCollum goes P2. He's within 2/10 of the car in front of him. That one of Alex McCollum now in his final flyer. Can he knock Landon Lewis off P1? Big jump for McCollum, a 120.812. Or excuse me, 182. That is exactly 2/10 of a second off of Landon Lewis at a 119.982. So keep an eye on McCollum. White car with the gold numbers as he tops the hill. See McCollum right down there next to the rumble strips trying to reel in Landon Lewis. And I wonder if that's the cue for Lewis to look in the mirror and go, okay, if there's anything left, this 99 car needs to dole it out right now. As they head down the hill, you see Lewis kick that car sideways nearly. McCollum loads it up on the left side tires as well. Oop. Wrong button. Off at NASCAR 4, here we go. Landon Lewis, the gray car, fastest overall. Lap number 4, who emerges? That's fast time. Lewis picks it up. McCollum slows it down. Landon Lewis, provisionally your pole sitter in that gray, green, yellow, and black, number 99. No surprise. Landon Lewis able to come in clutch here this afternoon on lap number 4 of his time trial session. Jordan O'Brien picked it up on lap 4. He's up to second spot, a 120.159. Everybody else finishing their runs. Only 1 or 2 drivers still lacking lap 4 on the scorecard. So Landon Lewis looks like he will be P1. Jordan O'Brien, Alex McCollum, Danny Chisholm, and Trevor Kraus, the top 5. Liam Flanagan, Arto Oyuranta in the 72, 7th. Daniel Silvestri, Brendan Rosbarski, Devin O'Connell in 10th. It's Tanner Ive, Emil Pearson, Heather Hadley. Ooh, didn't expect that from her. 13th fastest overall. Daniel Wilt, Jack Walker, Jagger Robertson from South Africa. Tanner Ive, Matthew Grant, Zach Martinez, and Brandon Martinez going to round out the field in this one. 20 strong for the Pro Division. Here in the 2023 edition of Road Course World Finals at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. And there you go. Oh, wait, is that a third cone? Whoa, that 14 car. Is that a third cone that we've killed? Right there on the left side, right side of the frame. I think it was. The car right there just left the frame. I think we... Oh, well, that explains it. That's from our fishbowl camera. And, folks, those cones were supposed to be straight up. That is exactly right before you go up the hill. That's the left turn to go down kind of towards the infield and then up the hill towards the fishbowl. And, well, let's just say we found at least 3 of them, I think. Clean up over to the back straightaway, please. Wow, cones everywhere. And now it's time to reboot. So qualifications are in. That's good news. Of course, no secret weather in the region going to be invading our space sometime in the near future. So qualifications have completed. The fields are set for Sunday afternoon. Now the drivers and teams will have time to practice the cars further, shake them down like this group here making the changes. Will get a chance to shake the car down and make sure everything is set before Sunday morning's final shakedown session. So we want to thank you for joining us here on U.S. Legend Cars TV. If you've been watching on YouTube or Facebook, any of our social media, Twitch, hey, we're going to hit the button here, and that's going to do it for our Friday afternoon coverage of time trials here at the Granite State. We're going to go to work. We're going to get some more cameras up, get some more cables strung, get some more things ready to go for Sunday afternoon and the championship Sunday here at the Magic Mile, that is New Hampshire Motor Speedway. So until Sunday afternoon, we're signing off here from New Hampshire. We'll see you with a full crew. Tim Terry, the Canadian eggplant included. He dyed his hair purple, I'm told. So I have not seen that. And, yeah, he said, he told us, he said, I look like an eggplant. I'm like, you're purple? He's like, yep. I said, oh, boy. So we'll see how that looks like. Nonetheless, he's on his way here, as is the rest of our crew, for a fantastic championship Sunday. Until then, we'll see you on the flip side here on USLegendCars.tv.